Will the United States implement universal basic income? This is what I think about at night. That's just the most basic question that all 25-year-old guys are thinking about is universal basic income. Not whether or not how many matches they get on Tinder or anything else, just universal basic income. That's the male brain in one sentence. The reason I've been thinking about this is because I've been wondering about the recent layoffs, the economy, and for once I actually used Google in my life, and I realized that the unemployment rate is at 4.2%, which sounds low when I say it out loud. But then when you hear about people staying at their jobs longer, it taking longer to find a job, and the people who are currently in the hunt, it just being more difficult, it makes me wonder, okay, but this has happened before, a broken clock is right twice a day. Unless you're in the military, then a broken clock is never right. I was wondering about this because I look at the way work is, and I was at work today, and I think of, these are the thoughts that keep me up at night. And I was just thinking, is Gen Z really gonna work a 9 to 5? Does that even make sense? Like, does it legitimately make sense to work 40 hours a week, 40 years of career, 40, 40, 40, 40? Because I don't think so. I legitimately don't think so, because this is better. I have found something that is better than filing taxes. It's writing zeros and ones in a computer, hallelujah, as somebody would say. But I just wonder, with companies overtly saying, we do not want Gen Z people, we do not want to hire new grads, we don't want this. I wonder, does that kill the American dream? Does it undermine it? Does it end it? Because what I'm thinking about is how, okay, like, you're kind of told you gotta work, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, but if companies are out here making billions of dollars and laying people off with record profits, where's the income gonna come from? Where's the income gonna come from? Like, where is it gonna come from? Because I just don't know, because we're consumerists. Like, that's really what an American is. An American isn't a patriot, isn't somebody who stands up for what's right. We're just a bunch of consumers. That's all we do. We eat, sleep, buy, and sell. That's capitalism. That's America, baby. And I was just wondering about, okay, if we just start heavily, I mean heavily, just laying people off and there's just structural unemployment, then when do we, at some point something's got to give. One of the things I think is universal basic income, because people are going to say, okay, like, I got this degree, your boy did his African American studies, and I can't even get a job at, the museum or something, the Asian American Museum. Who knows what? I don't know what kind of jobs you qualify. I don't know if there's an African American studies store, or if you can, flip African American study burger. Who knows what they do? And I was just wondering, because I don't know what Gen Z, I don't know what advice I can't tell a young guy, oh, you should just stay in college for 7 years, because that makes so much sense. But I also don't know if just giving people money that they haven't worked for, I don't know what kind of incentive structures that will create, because there's arguments for both. Because if you give people money, what if everyone just raises the prices? Then it's kind of negligible. But if you refuse to hire young people and them entering the economy, and assets and cost of living are at all-time highs, it also undermines everything too. The economy isn't just designed for everyone to be nurses, Someone's got to do these TikTok dances. That's a very essential job. I wonder, I just think about the new grads, I think about myself, I think about how I'm in this weird position where I may never, really, like, I might not really ever take off in anything. Like, I might not succeed in any career. And I can't be the only one in this position where it's like overeducated, underskilled. Like, it just can't be me. Maybe it's just me. Because while this internship is great and opening it up and I'm learning a lot of things, I just can't make any promises. I just can't, Nothing is guaranteed. Nobody owes you anything, and you're not guaranteed anything. You kind of just, I always tell myself, you live, you work, you die. My dad always gets mad, but whether you die by cancer or a lion attack, you still die nonetheless. I can't even like I can't even process what this new reality, economic reality we're entering in. Because let's say we do give people money, okay, then what, like, then are we just existing? Like, is that all we're good for? Is just to exist, to buy this? Like, there's no really any cultural messaging. Like when you go to school, they just tell you about George Washington and the Revolution. You learn about stoichiometry. You learn just about, I don't even know what they're teaching these kids in school nowadays. You know, skibbity toilet. Who knows? I don't know what's good, yo. I don't know what they're teaching you in school nowadays. But you learn all these things, but then they're very useless in your day to day. Like I'm not gonna, do a redox reaction. I don't even, going to prime factorization or any of that stuff. I'm just trying to, eat my goldfish, go, let the dogs out, if this building allowed dogs, let the dog out, and that's it. But if you take away people's ability, because income is everything, like this, our whole, like, money makes the world go round. And money makes America wake up. I think about how, we're not really given tools, and I don't think people have thought about, okay, what comes next after this? Like, what's the next thing? I think we're so focused on just the next day, the next this, that there's an overall structural thing going on in our society, and we just, we don't even think about, okay, like, if things continue the way they are, where like people don't hire young people, something's got to change. What that something is, I have no idea. My chat GPT doesn't answer those kind of questions, and I'll figure it out with you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked, please like and subscribe. My socials will be linked down below and at the end of this video. On the road to 500, so please, your boy is so grateful, just for watching. So, it would be great to hit 500, and then we'll go from there. Thank you so much.